The U.S. has just dropped a bombshell on Israel, slapping a 17% tariff on Israeli goods. This shocking move comes after years of Netanyahu and Israel's government aligning themselves closely with the U.S., hoping that the special relationship between the two nations would protect them from any kind of economic backlash. But now, it seems that this close alliance might not be as stable as Israel thought. In this video, we're going to break down why this tariff is a major blow to Netanyahu and what it means for Israel moving forward. Israel has always prided itself on its close ties with the United States. Over the years, Netanyahu has worked tirelessly to maintain Israel's standing with the U.S., believing that their shared political and economic interests would keep them in good favor. But this recent tariff decision by President Donald Trump proves that even the strongest political alliances can break down when it comes to economic interests. The tariff was announced as part of Trump's wider economic policy, which includes sweeping tariffs on many countries that he believes are exploiting the U.S. economy. In Israel's case, the U.S. imposed a 17% tariff on goods coming from the country, making it more expensive for Israeli companies to do business in one of their largest markets. While Israel tried to protect itself by removing its own tariffs on U.S. goods in a bid to prevent these retaliatory measures, it was ultimately unsuccessful. Now, why is this so significant? For one, Israel's economy is deeply tied to its trade relationship with the United States. In 2024 alone, Israel exported around 70% of its goods to the U.S., which is worth around $55 billion. That's not small change. With a 17% tariff now added to Israeli products, the financial strain on Israeli businesses could be immense. This could ultimately trickle down to the average citizen, leading to higher prices on everyday goods and a slower economy overall. What makes this tariff decision even more interesting is the fact that Israel had tried to defuse the situation by removing its own tariffs on U.S. products. Netanyahu believed that by doing this, he could avoid any negative consequences. However, Trump's decision to slap this tariff on Israeli goods highlights just how fragile their relationship truly is. This is not just about trade. This is about Israel's political leverage with the U.S. and whether Netanyahu has been able to navigate it effectively. For Netanyahu, this is an embarrassing blow to his leadership. For years, he's touted his ability to maintain a strong, unbreakable relationship with the U.S. and has used it to strengthen his political standing at home and abroad. But now, with a 17% tariff being placed on Israeli goods, Netanyahu's promises of economic stability are being tested. Critics of Netanyahu will likely point to this as yet another example of his inability to secure the best interests of the country. But the fallout goes beyond Netanyahu. Israel's business sector is also feeling the weight of this decision. The Manufacturers Association of Israel has already expressed shock at the move, calling it a regression in trade relations and saying it could hurt Israel's competitiveness in the global market. In particular, Israel's high-tech sector, which is a major player in exports, is worried that the tariffs could harm their ability to do business in the U.S. market. Companies in this sector could find themselves facing higher operational costs or even losing access to some of their most lucrative markets. So, what does this mean for Israel's future? While the Israeli government is working to mitigate the damage, the reality is that these tariffs could hurt Israel's economic standing for years to come. With the possibility of more tariffs on the horizon, Israel may need to reassess its approach to trade and political alliances. Netanyahu's handling of this crisis will be key. If he fails to find a solution, it could further erode confidence in his leadership. In conclusion, Trump's decision to impose a 17% tariff on Israel is a powerful reminder that even the strongest alliances are vulnerable when it comes to economic interests. Netanyahu's long-standing relationship with the U.S. has now been put to the test, and the consequences could be severe. The question remains, can Netanyahu salvage Israel's economy, or has his leadership reached a breaking point?